And welcome, everyone. A very pleasant good evening here live from the Boshemer Gymnasium. Tip-off about 20 minutes away here between the Brevard College Tornadoes and Oglethorpe here tonight. Nados coming off of their first win of the season, and we will have a little bit of a preview of the matchup, the all-time series. We'll have starters here for you in just a minute here, live from Brevard, about 20 minutes away. Oglethorpe versus Brevard coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Back here live from the Bosch here on the campus of Brevard College in the mountains of western North Carolina. Both teams finishing up their warm-ups here. You see the Nados getting some footwork in down near the baseline. And we've got starters for the Nados still waiting on the starters from Oglethorpe. Go ahead and give those to you for the NATOs. Number 4, Quincy Carter, starting at guard, the senior, 6'1", 215, out of Decatur, Georgia, hailing from Collins Hill High School. And before this, Young Harris College, transfer over here from Young Harris, has played the last 3 seasons with the NATOs. Number 5, LB Boyette, the unquestioned heart and soul of this team, the junior guard, 6'4", 190, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Queens Grant High School. Number 10, Carson Evans, also getting the start at guard, the 5'10", junior, 165, also out of Charlotte, but Butler High School. Number 12, the freshman, Jaden Carnes, getting his second career start, 6'4", 170, out of Concord, North Carolina, Mount Pleasant High School. More on him in just a minute. And rounding out the 5 for the NATOs is number 32, Chancey Watson, the senior guard, 6'1", 190, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Olympic High School. And Quincy has 5 starts in 5 games. He started every game. LB has started every game. Carson has started 4 out of the 5 games to this point, but Jaden Carnes has only played in 4 of the 5 games, and only 1 of those was a start. So the starting action is still a little bit unfamiliar for the freshman. I mean, even if he had been starting all season, it would still be familiar. I mean, we're only in Game 6 here, Game 7 for Oglethorpe. And let's take a look at the history between these two teams and how each of them are faring this season. In the all-time series, it is 1-1. The NATOs got the first victory in the series, November 15th, 2019, a 67-64 victory. And then last year, right around this time, November 16th of last year, a 92-42 stomping by Oglethorpe of the NATOs. So the all-time series at 1 apiece right now. And these teams, it should be a pretty good game tonight. The NATOs are sitting at 1-4 on the season, 0-3 at home, still seeking that elusive first win here at the Bosch, which the NATOs traditionally have played really well in the Boshamer Gymnasium. Still looking for that first victory here. A couple of really tough, close losses early on here in the non-conference slate at home for the NATOs. They are coming off their first win of the season, which was a 76-70 victory at Warren Wilson College, which, funnily enough, Warren Wilson is the last team that Oglethorpe beat. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and their only win in that span is against Warren Wilson. They beat Warren Wilson twice this season. NATOs 1-1 against the Warren Wilson Owls, but 3 out of the last 4 games for Oglethorpe have been losses. They sit at 3-3 overall, 0-1 in conference. Of course, Brevard has not began conference play, and the last game for Oglethorpe was a 78-62 loss at the hands of the Berry College Vikings. And for the Tornadoes, some of the impact guys tonight, LB Boyette, obviously, as we talked about, nearly 21 points per game so far on the campaign, 20.6 points a game, 6.4 rebounds per game, getting it done on the glass. In fact, he is the leading, or tied for the leading rebounder. Him and Charles Reed both averaging 6.4 rebounds per game and 3.8 assists per game for LB Boyette, with 19 total assists on the season through 5 games. Quincy Carter, a very, very good number 2, a very good thunder to LB's Lightning. 17.4 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game, and then also averaging over a steal a game, 1.2 steals per game. Really good perimeter defense and really aggressive defense by Quincy Carter this season, and it has paid dividends for number 4 on the Tornadoes. And then Jaden Carnes, who we spoke about just a minute ago, getting his second career start here. Carnes has averaged 6.5 points per game as a freshman with a role coming off the bench, 4 rebounds per game, and almost 2 assists per game, 1.7 assists. And we'll see what he does in his second career start. In that starting 5, you get your feet wet immediately. You don't have to wait on the end of the bench like you kind of do with when you're coming off the bench, especially as a freshman and as Carnes was in those earlier games. I remember in the home campaign earlier this season against Warren Wilson, the 87-81 loss for the Tornadoes. I remember Jaden Carnes getting in and doing some really good things in that ball game, and obviously it's only progressed. The freshman Coach Burgess told us at the winter social he was really high on, and he's shown that. He's had a lot of trust for Jaden Carnes, and once again, almost 7 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and nearly 2 assists per game. And Coach Burgess really hopes to see that continue. A couple really good big men on the team. Ryan Smith is one of them. Ryan Smith and Jaden Carnes really the two centers on the team, the two centers getting the main minutes here for the Tornadoes. And for Oglethorpe, the two leading scorers, Uba Azigbu out of Lilburn, Georgia, Berkmar High School, senior forward, and Ryan Janae, 6'3", senior guard out of Alpharetta, Georgia. So a lot of veteran leadership. The two leaders on the team, seniors on this squad, Azigbo, 14.7 points per game, 4.5 boards per game, and 1.5 steals per game. And Janae, almost 10 points per game, 9.8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, and a 50% clip from three. About 6.5 minutes away from starting lineups here in the Bosch, and we will have the starters for Oglethorpe when we get back. A few minutes away from tip-off. Don't go anywhere, folks. Brevard and Oglethorpe coming up. And back here at the Bosch, folks, and a few minutes away. The two teams, once again, finishing up their layup lines, and we are a couple of minutes away from the invocation and starting lineups, both courtesy of PA announcer Ray Gill. We will have those here for you in just a moment. Brevard College Tornadoes against the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels. Basketball here in just a minute from the Bosch.
Respectfully ask you please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, speak tonight's starting lineups. First, for visiting Oglethorpe University. At 4, the 6'3" senior from Brevard, Georgia, number 1, Uma Ezigbo. At guard, the 6'3" sophomore from Kennesaw, Georgia, number 3, Jordan James. At guard, the 5'11" freshman from Mount Airy, Georgia, number 12, Kyle Dooley. At 4, the 6'3" freshman from Roswell, Georgia, number 14, Jackson Kemp. And at guard, the 6'3" senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 20, Ryan Chennai. Oglethorpe is coached by Philip Ponder. And now, the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. At guard, a 6'1" senior from Decatur, Georgia, number 4, Quincy Carter. At guard, a 6'4" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 5, LB Boyd.
And starting lineups there being announced by PA announcer Ray Gill. And we are just about ready for basketball here. The NATO 5 heading onto the hardwood first. Oglethorpe's soon to follow. Quincy Carter, LB Boyette, Jaden Carnes, Chancey Watson, and Carson Evans, the 5 for the NATOs. And for Oglethorpe, Uba Izigbo, Jordan James, Malachi Dooley, Jackson Kemp, and Ryan Jeni are the 5 for the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels. And tip-off between Boyette and Izigbo is won by Izigbo. And Dooley with the basketball on the right wing, going up top Izigbo. To his left, Jeni. Jeni down low, Izigbo. Pass broken up, Boyette. Izigbo gets it back, trying to back him down. Trying to go against Boyette. Goes back door. Quincy nearly steals it. Going inside and putting up a shot and making the layup is Jordan James, a sophomore guard out of Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw Mountain High School. And Carson Evans takes the ball and gives it to Chancey Watson. Now right side, LB. Back to Chancey up top, working on Jeni. Stepping back, long mid-range is good. Chancey Watson with a nice crossover there. Stepping back and drilling that one. Even at 2 apiece after 1 possession each for the teams. And Dooley gives it over to Izigbo, trying to get physical again, working on Watson. Now free throw line jumper is too long. Rebound pulled in by Chancey. Chancey has it now, looking up the floor. Coming up the right side, pointing over to LB. And he'll instead go to Carson. Carson pump fakes the 3. Now Chancey, LB has it, directing traffic on the left wing. Up top, Carson Evans. Right side, Chancey. Quincy. Carnes cutting, going up, blocked. Wow. Jordan James got up for that one. And Jaden Carnes, one of those freshman moments perhaps, looked to have an easy basket. And you find out really quickly there's no such thing as easy at this level. Carson Evans from the baseline, looking, finding LB, right wing, over to Chancey. Chancey thinks about it, 10 on the 24. Now going inside, pass over to LB. LB firing up the 3, and that one's too far. Rebound pulled in by Jackson Kemp. Now over to Dooley. Dooley gets by Quincy Carter, going all the way and putting it up. Layup is good, coast to coast. For Malachi Dooley, now Carson Evans left side. 4-2, Oglethorpe early on. Evans up top, Chancey. Chancey moving LB, now gives over to Quincy. Quincy back to Chancey. Chancey a jab step, left-hand dribble, now gives it over to Carson. Carson bringing Carnes forward, now thinks about the 3, is going to dribble inside, stepping back, pass over to Chancey. Chancey fires the 3 and hits it. Chancey Watson. All 5 of the NATO's points so far have come from number 32, the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Dooley takes back over. NATO's with a lead here, 5-4. About 2 minutes in, Dooley gives over to Kemp. Kemp now is Izigbo. Izigbo, James. Jordan James back over to Kemp, wearing the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles. Now Jeni. Down low is Izigbo. Knocked out of his hands. Chancey Watson has it now right side. Watson, LB, three-point line, passing back over to Chancey. Looking, back to LB. LB directing traffic once more. Carson Evans has it, calling out the play. Quincy, LB, nice pass by Quincy. Surrounded by 3 men. In the corner all alone. Chancey Watson can't hit. Rebound there by Dooley. Quincy working hard to catch up to him. Now he's trapped. Ball stolen by Quincy. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Oglethorpe. Active defense once again from Quincy Carter, averaging over a steal a game. 1.2 steals per contest for Quincy. And up top, Malachi Dooley. Carson guarding him. Dooley. Over to James, going inside on Chancey, beats him to the rack, off the rim, no good, rebound, Chancey Watson. Over to Quincy now, right side, in transition, long pass to Carson, he's in the corner, firing up a 3, and that one is not going to hit. Missing there, Jeni up top, Dooley, now James, right side, going over to Jeni, working on Evans, spinning around, and almost loses the basketball. Now pass to Izigbo in the corner is pure. He hits the jumper. A 3-pointer there from Uba Izigbo. And he's got 3, his first 3 of the contest. Quincy now, right side over to Chancey. LB getting the basketball. Looking around, facing up now. Couple of dribbles, backing down, passing it, and now Carson has it. 13 on the shot clock, corner. Quincy firing up the 3, and connects. Quincy Carter gives the NATOs the lead right back, 8-6, about 3.5 in. Malachi Dooley now with the basketball. He's got Kemp to his right. Ezigbo coming over now, acting like he was setting the screen. Now he goes down low. Janai gets it, working on Carnes, crossing back to his left, turning around. Up top, Kemp has it, guarded by Quincy. Now Jordan James, left all alone. Janai going to fire it from the right wing and too strong. Quincy Carter bringing down the board. Quincy coming up the floor now. Has Carnes open, delects to LB. LB going in, passing, missing Carnes. Carnes gets it back though. Carson Evans going to fire a three. Cannot hit, and the rebound's pulled in by Jordan James. 8-6 NATO lead, 15:44 to go in the first half. Boyette guarding up. Ezigbo going in on him, putting up the layup, and too strong. Chancey Watson tips the rebound up to himself. He's bringing it up the floor now, right past the BC logo. Looking around now, maneuvering to his left. Left wing now, Chancey Watson. Up top to LB. LB moving Carson around now, giving him the basketball. To his right, Quincy Carter. Now Jaden Carnes. Nice pass up top, Evans. Watson, pump fake. Now looking back up top, Carson Evans. Looking back, Chancey, another three. And why not? Chancey Watson. His third basket, he's got 8 already. 7, rather. And that one, or no, it is 8. And now Jaden Carnes has the basketball. Long pass, LB Boyette on the steal, going up. Oh, what a move, LB Boyette. Boyette with the lay. And now Kemp losing the basketball. It will stay with Oglethorpe. And now a timeout coming here. NATO's leading at 13-6. About 5 minutes into this one, and Chancey Watson is on fire. 8 points for him, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Quincy Carter and LB Boyette have both added in some nice baskets, and the NATO's with an early lead here. We'll be right back. Oglethorpe back on the floor. A couple of new faces on the floor. Trey Harris, Tyler O'Donohue, Robert Reisman, and number 22, Mason Kemp. Also sporting the goggles that Jackson Kemp has, assuming a relation there. And it looks like Oglethorpe turns the ball over. Robert Reisman stepping out of bounds. And by the way, the other one of the 5 on the floor is Dylan Benefield, also from Kennesaw, Georgia. Evans now with the basketball. LB, now Carnes up top, one dribble pass to LB. LB thinks about the 3. Nice pass back to Carnes. Left-handed layup off the glass, Jaden Carnes. The freshman, his first basket of the night in his second career start. Up top now Benefield. Over to Kemp. And now firing up a 3 and hitting is number 10, Trey Harris out of Dallas, Georgia. Carson Evans now has it. Left side. Maneuvering now over to LB. Carnes, left wing, thinks about the 3. Now a couple of dribbles. Hands it over to Quincy. Quincy going through traffic, putting up the right-handed layup. Strong lay there from Quincy. And it's 17-9. NATO's leading in a very good offensive output so far early on here. Benefield with the basketball. Now to the right side, firing up another 3, and not able to hit that one is Trey Harris. LB Boyette bringing down the rebound. LB coming in hot, brings it over to the left, goes up with a layup. It's good, LB Boyette. 19-9, a double-digit lead here, about 6.5 in for the NATO's, and about as good of a start as you could ask for if you're Coach Lee Burgess. Sly wide to the scorer's table, ready to get checked in. Now Kemp has it, passing over to Reisman. Reisman losing the basketball. Carnes is on the floor. He has it. Passes over to Chancey. Another turnover. Long pass down the floor. LB. LB. Nice pass. Quincy Carter to the basket. 21-9 to open up the ball game. A 12-point lead for the NATO's nearly 7 minutes in. Quincy Carter chipping in. Chancey Watson chipping into the nice pass there. LB Boyette. And the NATO's are getting it done right now. 21 points already, leading by 12, and we'll be right back out of the timeout. teams back on the floor here. And it's Kemp, O'Donohue, Harris, Benefield, and Reisner. And now Mason Kemp getting the basketball. Goes over to O'Donohue. Reisman gives it over to Trey Harris. Harris passing Benefield left wing, working on the newly checked in Sly White. He falls, and the basket is hit there by Benefield. Sly White slipping there on that one, and the lead is cut down to 10. Carson Evans, left side LB. Carson, Chancey, Sly. Backdoor pass, Quincy can't hit the layup. Mason Kemp with the rebound now. Looking, scanning, and now going to work on Quincy. Tries to cross over, nearly loses the basketball. Benefield gets it. Quincy switches on to him. Benefield going inside. Passing back over to Reisner. Reisner, long two for Benefield is pure. And Reisman, apologies. Keep accidentally referring to him as Reisner. Reisman there helping conduct the offense. Chancey Watson on the left side has it up top. Carson Evans back to Chancey. Chancey another three, and that one's off the back iron. Fighting for it is Quincy Carter. He tips it over to LB. LB trying to get Carson Evans to set it down. He won't. Instead, LB gives to Quincy, gets it back, and now goes right back over to Quincy. Quincy, LB in the paint. Mid-range jumper is pure. LB Boyette, he's got 6. LB averaging nearly 21 per game so far, 20.6 points per contest, and he's got 6 already tonight. Quincy Carter has 7, Chancey with 8. Benefield over to Reisman, wide open on the pass there. Tyler O'Donohue getting a basket there, a defensive lapse from the NATOs in the paint. And the lead is down to 8. Carson Evans moving Chancey Watson over with the basketball to the right side. Quincy back to Carson, over to Chancey. Chancey looking around, long pass over to Quincy Carter, and now a long pass over to Chancey. Chancey wide open for 3, and can't hit that one either. And now Chancey not hitting them quite at the rate he was at the beginning of the game, just a little bit off. Benefield now working on Quincy Carter, trying to go inside. Nowhere to go. He's run into a wall. Good defense by Quincy. Quincy switching on, and a foul called on him. Trey Harris drew the foul there. And a timeout coming here. NATO's leading by 8, just about 9 minutes in. 11:03 to go in the first half. 23-15. NATO's leading over the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels. Back on the floor now, the two teams. And it looks as if the 5 will remain the same for Oglethorpe. For Brevard, KK Horton and Charles Reed newly checked in. And now the inbound pass to Benefield, who's guarded by Horton. Moving over to the right wing, right in front of the Brevard bench. Now getting a screen, and the pass goes to no one, out of bounds towards the baseline. Benefield wanted O'Donohue to cut, and he did not, at least the way that Benefield wanted. And now KK Horton at the controls. Goes over to the right side. Quincy up top, Sly. And that one's taken away by Mason Kemp. Sly coming back on the defense. The layup put up. It is good. And the foul. And so a chance to cut the lead all of a sudden down from double digits to 5 at the line for Mason Kemp. Kemp, the first of the 2 Kemps to score. And the other one, Jackson Kemp, coming in here. It appears he will get Mason Kemp out. A lot of subs here. James, Izigbo, Janai, and Malachi Dooley. So the starting 5 is back out on the floor. And the free throw is converted, by the way, by Kemp, who is replaced by the other Kemp, and now it's a 5-point lead for the NATOs. Horton over to the left, LB. Up top, Sly White. Quincy looks to the corner, now back to Sly. LB, corner, Horton, wide open for 3, puts it up, can't hit. Rebound hauled in by Janai. And now Malachi Dooley has it on the right side, coming up the floor. Moving Janai out of the way. Quincy Carter with the steal. Quincy going to the basket, putting it up. Layup is good. Quincy Carter with 9 points early on. Dooley working on Quincy now. Left wide open is Zigbo for three, and he connects. Three-pointer there makes it a 4-point game, 25-21, exactly midway through this first half. Boyette, Horton, left side, Quincy. Back up top, Horton, dangerous pass. LB has it, going to fire up a three, and hit the three. LB Boyette's got 9. Malachi Dooley with the basketball on the left side. LB heating up, 9 points for him and Carter both each. Kemp has it, working on Reed. A lot of contact. Pass, great pass through the hands of Boyette. He almost had it. Now Dooley is Zigbo, another three, and he can't hit that one. Rebound pulled in, Sly White. Charles Reed now on the attack, coming up the right side, looking around, and he will continue to dribble it now, defer over to KK Horton. Horton right side, Quincy Carter. Quincy looking around, going to fire the three. Lacks defense, and the rebound is pulled in, maybe by Oglethorpe. I can't tell. There was a foul, and it will be against Sly White. I thought it could have been against Jordan James of Oglethorpe, but it will be against Sly White, and it will be the second foul for him and the third for the team. LB heading over to the bench, as well as Quincy Carter, the two main scorers in this ball game, combining for 18. Both have 9 apiece and a combined 8 for 11 from the field for the duo of Carter and Boyette. Now Dooley, lazy pass to Izigbo, didn't pick it up at first, and now James. Izigbo once again now over to Jackson Kemp. Dooley up top is Zigbo, stepping back, working on a newly checked in. Sutherland goes in for the layup, can't hit with the left hand. Good defense by Garrett Sutherland. Charles Reed over to Garrett. Garrett going inside, putting up the floater. He's fouled, and no, it's an offensive foul. It's a charge called against Garrett, and that'll be the 4th team foul. Oglethorpe still yet to have a whistle blown on them. And Ryan Smith, the big man, checked in now. Sly White headed off the floor, and Jaden Carnes still on the bench. So the 5 right now. Also, Paris Crawford just checked in for the Tornadoes. So Horton, Reed, Sutherland, Smith, and Crawford, the second unit here for the NATOs, kind of all in there at once. Zigbo has it now over to Kemp. Kemp working on Crawford, spinning around on him, putting up the layup, and strong finish there by Jackson Kemp. That's his first score of the night. He's got 2, and Mason Kemp has 3. KK Horton up top, left side, Garrett Sutherland. KK Crawford finds a seam. Reed. Smith going inside, has a hole, whips it out of the corner. Garrett Sutherland for 3. He cans it. Sutherland gives the NATOs a little bit more breathing room. 31-23 lead right now. 8-point lead with 8 minutes to go. Dooley now. Jackson Kemp working on Horton. Izigbo on Crawford. Both number ones matched up here. Izigbo passes over to Dooley on the right side. He tries to shake Sutherland. Going inside, looking for someone to pass to. Finds the cutting Janai, and a foul called. Looked like a clean rip there by Charles Reed. And the 5th team foul going to be called against the NATOs. And a timeout coming here. NATO's leading by 8, just under 8 to play. 7:48 remaining in the ball game. NATO's leading it 31-23, and we'll be right back. NATO's back on the floor now and awaiting 2 free throws on the foul there of Janai. Charles Reed was called for that one, and Reed still having a little friendly conversation, it appears, with the official. And for Oglethorpe, it will also still be the same 5, and Janai headed to the stripe. And the first one is no good. And Ezigbo coming down into the paint to try and help rebound on this one. They didn't have anyone in the box before that. And now the second free throw also no good, but Ezigbo, surely enough, gets the rebound, puts it up, can't get it back, gets his own rebound, and will dribble it out of bounds. Ezigbo with the turnover. Some really tenacious rebounding there, though, by him, and the NATO's got to make an effort to box him out a little bit better moving forward. Horton with the basketball, coming up the middle of the floor, now the left side. NATO's holding an 8-point lead here, about 7:35 remaining in half number one. Ryan Smith has it up top, finds, no, he can't find a cutting Sutherland. Just sailing it a little high on him, and Garrett is 6'5". That's a tough target to sail one over, but it happens sometimes in this game. And Dooley up top to Ezigbo, guarded by Horton. Now Dooley has it once more, calling out the play, wants to get it back to Ezigbo, and does up top. Ezigbo wants some motion, now gives it over to Kemp. Janai getting it, gets away from Horton, passing over wide open. Dooley alone on the wing for three, can't hit it, and the rebound is hauled in by Oglethorpe, and all of a sudden, whistle's blowing. And not really sure what is happening here, what the referee, can't tell from here what the referee is calling for or signaling. And it looks like they may have reset the shot clock when they should not have. And that is exactly what it is. There will only be 2 seconds on the shot clock on this inbound, so NATO's got to lock up. Don't let Oglethorpe get a good shot. Kemp gets it, firing from the corner, and can't connect. Rebound is pulled in by Charles Reed, but the whistle blows anyways. And it'll go the NATO's way with 6:59 remaining in half number one. Reed inbounds over to Horton. Now Charles. Sutherland has it on the left wing. Back to Charles. Working inside. Now Crawford up top. Ryan Smith. Smith takes a dribble. Hands to Crawford. Crawford going to fire up a three of his own and can't hit it. The rebound pulled in by Ezigbo. And now up the right side, Malachi Dooley to the left. Now to the corner, Kemp. And that one rebounded. Nice rebound there. Good length by KK Horton. And Horton up the right side, passes to Crawford, working inside, putting up the layup, and he's fouled. Foul coming against Malachi Dooley there, it appears. And it'll be 2 free throws for Crawford. Crawford's first free throw clanks off the back iron. And in come Benefield, Mason Kemp, and Trey Harris. Dylan Benefield has 4 points, second leading scorer for Oglethorpe right now. And Crawford's second free throw is good, so he salvages the trip and knocks down 1 of 2. It's a 9-point lead for the Tornadoes as it stands. And Benefield now has the basketball over to his right. Mason Kemp going inside on Sutherland. Hits the brakes, turns it over to Harris. Now Benefield has it, trying to go back to Harris, looking around. And now we'll find Ezigbo. Ezigbo trying to cross back on Horton. Going inside, trying to use his strength, losing the basketball, but it will stay with Oglethorpe. And Ezigbo playing a really physical brand of basketball so far tonight. NATOs have done a good job containing it for the most part, though. Benefield on the baseline looking for an inbound receiver, and it will be Mason Kemp who hauls in the long pass. Benefield now working on the right wing on the bigger Ryan Smith. A little hezzy mid-range jumper. Can't hit it. Shot clock expires, but it did hit the rim, so it's a new possession clock. Ezigbo now over to Kemp on the left side, crossing back on Crawford. Not getting any room. Smith trying to go for the pass. Harris back to Kemp. Left alone for three, looking for a passer now over to Benefield. Benefield stepping back, 2 on the shot clock, firing up a wild shot, and he is fouled by Charles Reed, and the referees have been really aggressive with their whistles on Reed so far. A Hail Mary shot there with 2 seconds on the shot clock, and he gets bailed out with 2 free throws by the officials. Desperation 3 there, and now rewarded with a trip to the stripe. And Benefield tells us up here the ball does not lie. Could lie on the second free throw, but not that one. He knocks it in. 32-24 lead for the NATOs. Benefield comes set and will knock down the second of 3 free throws. And now checking in for the first time is Franklin Bailey. Bailey, the junior guard, or rather, no, Jonathan Awalier, the freshman center, 6'7" out of Marietta, Georgia, Walton High School. And Awalier working on Smith, and the third free throw is sunk. So all of a sudden, lead back down to 6. And Horton up the left side, looking around, now passes over to Crawford. Up top, Ryan Smith. Smith, one dribble, now pass back over to Horton. Horton going to fire up a 3 and can't connect. Rebound pulled in by Trey Harris. Harris over to Benefield. Oglethorpe has numbers. Looking on the backside. No, he's going to take it himself. And blocked! Garrett Sutherland. It will stay with Oglethorpe, but Garrett Sutherland with a huge block there. As Benefield on the baseline looking for someone to pass to. Looking in the corner and now gets it over Awalier. Loses the basketball. Garrett Sutherland has it. It goes off the foot of either him or Horton. And Mason Kemp gets it right back as they were coming up the court. Crossing over now. He loses the ball. Paris Crawford behind the back. Looking around. Passing over. Chancey going up the layup. And that's a goaltend. That's a goaltend. Chancey Watson will get those points. And he will be the first NATO to get into double figures. Lead back up to 8 for the NATOs with just under 5 to play. And checking in now, number 15, Griffin Cherry. Cherry, the sophomore out of Dallas, Georgia, North Paulding High School. Home of Arik Gilbert, former number 1 football prospect. Or rather, he played in that region. He did not play at North Paulding. Mason Kemp gets the basketball up top now, and stepping back on Sutherland is Benefield, and he will hit off the shooter's roll. Nice agility there by Benefield. 4:35 and counting to go in the first half. NATO's leading it by 6. KK Horton over to the right side. Crawford. Chancey Watson gets the pass and is immediately fouled by Griffin Cherry. And wondering it's been a significant break at this point for Quincy and LB rather. As Chancey looks to inbound, wondering when we'll see them again. Sutherland has it now going over to KK up top. KK crossing over to his left, now passes to Crawford on the left side. Up top, KK has it, dribbling, stepping back, going inside, and he is fouled. That one will be a blocking foul. So on the floor, and the 4th foul against Oglethorpe. Chancey inbounds to Crawford. Crawford working on Awalier. Now to Horton. Back to Paris. Paris now on Benefield. Dribbling with his left, trying to direct everyone. Chancey gets it, thinks about the 3, tries to pass it, gets it back off the deflection, goes inside. Wide open in the corner, KK Horton for 3, can't hit it, gets his own rebound, puts up the layup off the glass, no good. Knocked out to Chancey in the corner, he fires up a 3, can't hit. Rebound, KK Horton, good offensive rebounding here by the NATOs. Pass back over to Chancey. Chancey looks up at the shot clock, it's got 15. Paris Crawford getting it up top. Now to the left side, Horton once more. Looking back over to Paris up top, he defers over to Sutherland. Up top, Ryan Smith. Long 2 there for Smith is no good. And finally, Oglethorpe able to come down to the rebounds. An empty possession there for the NATOs. A lot of offensive rebounds. Crawford and Smith go for the block, and a foul called. Foul call did not look like a lot to me there, but it is deemed a foul. And all of a sudden now, Quincy Carter, LB Boyette, and Jaden Carnes look like they're ready to come in for the remainder of this first half, I assume, but not before we have a timeout. 3 minutes and 29 seconds to go in this one. NATO's leading it by 6, 34-28, and we'll be right back. Back here awaiting 2 free throws for Dylan Benefield, the 5'11 sophomore out of Kennesaw, Georgia. And he already got a few free throws a moment ago on a questionable foul call out on the three-point line. Quincy Carter, Jaden Carnes, and L.B. Boyette back into the ballgame as well for the NATOs. And the first free throw is hit by Benefield. NATOs now holding a 5-point lead. Could be 4 after this next shot. A spin of the basketball. Benefield a dribble. And now fires and will hit it off the shooter's roll. Chancey inbounds that one to KK Horton. Right side, bringing it up over to Chancey now. Quincy has it. Quincy trying to find a cutting. Carnes gets it back off the deflection. Nice length there displayed by Mason Kemp. Chancey has it now. Couple of dribbles, goes over to LB. LB working with his left hand, crossing over to his right. Stepping back, spinning around, now pulling a mid-range and just too far. Mason Kemp with the rebound over to Benefield now on the right side. And trying to move Awalier into position to set a pick for him and set him up with Carnes. He does that, but instead passes it over to Cherry on the right side. And it looks like an offensive foul. Hooking might be the call against Oglethorpe. And that was Awalier. Horton up the right side. NATO's leading by 4. Pass over to the left side, Carter. Up top, Jaden Carnes. Carnes takes a dribble. Might have got away with a travel. Gives it over to Horton. LB jumps to catch a pass. Now goes over to Horton, and it is intercepted by Benefield. Benefield one-on-one, passing it back. Awalier putting up the layup. It's wild, and he can't hit it. LB Boyette, long pass over to Quincy. One-on-one, him and Cherry. Euro step layup with the left. No good. Rebound pulled in by Griffin Cherry. Passing over to Benefield. It's a one-on-one between him and Boyette. Now stepping back, looking over. Got away with a carry, and that one's stolen. Chancey Watson lobs a pass over to Horton. 2-on-1. Horton puts up the layup. No good. Rebound tipped up. LB tipped around. Carnes has it. Putting it up in the basket for the NATOs. Jaden Carnes, Johnny on the spot to give the NATOs a 6-point lead once more with 2:08 to go in the first half. Benefield over to the left side. Mason Kemp. Jaden Carnes guarding him. Crossing over with the left. Now to the corner. Benefield. Carnes on him now. Benefield trying to go inside and use his speed. Turning around. Floating it up over Carnes. Can't hit it. Rebound, LB Boyette. Long pass over to Quincy. Quincy going inside. Putting up the layup, and he's fouled. Quincy Carter, 9 points and a chance to add on to that here at the free throw line. Hasn't shot any so far tonight. Quincy is 13 of 14 on the season at the free throw stripe. A 92.9% clip for number 4. NATO's holding a 6-point lead, and Quincy with his second free throw miss of the season. Not able to get anything there, and a whole new unit coming in. It looks like it is the starting 5 from the beginning of the game for Oglethorpe to close out the final 145 of this frame. Carter trying to split the pair of free throws here, and he fires and connects. So Quincy's the second tornado to jump into double figures. And a timeout on the floor coming. Quincy, the second tornado once again to reach double figures tonight, and LB Boyette is close behind. He's got 9. 29 combined points between the 3 of Carter, Watson, and Boyette. And 4 of 7 from the field for Quincy, 4 of 9 for Chancey, 4 of 6 for LB. That is 12 of 22 from the field, over 50% clip between those 3, and you'll take that every time if you're Coach Lee Burgess. You've got Jaden Carnes with a nice contribution. He's got 4. Garrett Sutherland chipped in a 3. Paris Crawford has a point as well, and then some other really good contributions. 3 assists from Carson Evans, really good defense from Charles Reed. A couple of questionable foul calls on him, we'll say. Horton has done a really good job directing the pace. Ryan Smith has been a great presence in the paint, and Sly White was putting in some nice work for the Tornadoes as well. Dylan Benefield off the bench, leading scorer for Oglethorpe with 11. He is not on the floor currently. That is Malachi Dooley running the point at the moment. And on the right side, he'll give it over to Jackson Kemp. Now James has it. Back to Dooley. Dooley over to Jenai. James going to fire up a 3 and hit it. Splashed there by Jordan James, and he's got 5. Horton, 1:20 and counting to go. Quincy Carter Now Boyette. Chansey passing it to Quincy. Quincy spinning around, looking, going inside, passing it. Chansey able to haul it in. A bit of a wild pass to his right. Now Quincy has it up top with 14 on the shot clock. Right side Horton. Horton tries to get it to Watson. Instead gives it over to Quincy. Pass LB. Firing up a three. LB is on target. LB Boyette with 12 points in the first half. He's the leading scorer. 32 combined points between him, Quincy Carter, and Chansey Watson in the first half. That one deflected and stolen. Jaden Carnes has the ball. 3-on-3. Carnes whips a pass over. Chansey Watson. Watson's got 12 now, too. What a pass there by Jaden Carnes over to Watson. Jackson Kemp with the basketball, going inside, trying to put up a layup, and does so. 8-point lead for the NATOs, 30 seconds to go. And Horton might try and slow things down here with 23 seconds to go in half number one. NATOs leading 42-35 here. KK with the basketball, guarded by Malachi Dooley, right to the right of the BC midcourt logo. 12 seconds to go. About time to get something going here on offense. Carnes setting a pick over to LB. Up top, Carnes once more. Takes the dribble, gives it to LB. LB losing the basketball. Jordan James going inside. Euro step. Knocked out of his hands, but a foul called against Quincy Carter. Quincy looked to have a clean strip there, and instead the whistle's blown against number 4, and that will be the 8th team foul with 0.7 seconds to go in the half, and the referee's creating some real opportunities for Oglethorpe in this half. Jordan James sinks the first free throw. NATO's lead down to 6 with less than a second to go in the half. And James cuts the lead down to 6. 42-36. LB gets it, fires up a long shot down the court, and that one off the backboard. Wouldn't have counted anyways, but gets it surprisingly close. NATO's leading at 42-37 here at the half, and really it's been the LB Boyette, Chansey Watson, and Quincy Carter show. LB, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 12 points. Also 2 assists there as well. Chansey Watson, 12 points, 5 of 10, 50% from the field. 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, but I can't blame him for taking heat check shots the way he's been shooting tonight. And 5 boards as well for Chansey. 10 points for Quincy Carter on 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 1 of 2 from the stripe, 2 boards, 2 assists, and 2 fouls. Jaden Carnes has put in some nice work. 4 points on 2 of 3 from the field, has had some really timely rebounds, has a rebound, and a really nice assist there a moment ago over to Chansey. Garrett Sutherland knocked in a three-pointer. That's his only field goal attempt of the game. Paris Crawford knocked down a free throw, and then Charles Reed Evans, KK Horton, Ryan Smith, and Sly White have all checked in. No scoring contribution from those guys, but a lot of really good work, especially on the defensive end, and facilitating in the case of Carson Evans with 3 assists. For the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels, Dylan Benefield, 11 points off the bench, 5 of 5 from beyond from the stripe, rather. And 3 of 6 from the field. 7 points for Jordan James. 2 of 3 from the field. 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. 2 boards for him. 5 points for Uba Ezigbo, who is the leading scorer for the team coming into tonight, averaging 14.7 a game. Jackson Kemp with 4 points. Trey Harris with 3 points. Mason Kemp with 3 points. So the 2 Kemps combining for 7 points. Not 100% sure on relation, but they are both from Roswell, Georgia, both from Roswell High School, and both wearing the Rec Spec sports goggles. I'm going to assume that they may be brothers. And then Tyler O'Donohue and Malachi Dooley, each with a 2-piece for Oglethorpe. Robert Reisman, Griffin Cherry, Ryan Janai, and Jonathan Awalier have checked in but have not scored. As far as team stats go, 42 points for the NATOs, 37 for Oglethorpe, 17 of 37 shooting for the Tornadoes, 45.9% clip. And actually, Oglethorpe has shot a higher clip from the field, 13 of 28, which is 46.4%. But the second chance opportunities and the three-pointers have really been the difference. 3-point field goal percentage for the NATOs, 6 of 20, 30% clip, but they have knocked down 6. Oglethorpe, 33.3% clip. Once again, higher percentage than what the NATOs are shooting, but only 3 of 9. Free throws, 8 of 10. 10 attempts for Oglethorpe, 2 of 4 for the NATOs, so a bit of a discrepancy there. NATOs could be holding a double-digit lead if it wasn't for that margin. 6 turnovers for the NATOs, 11 for Oglethorpe. Really sloppy offensive basketball at times for Oglethorpe. 14 points off turnovers for the NATOs, 7 for Oglethorpe. So half as many as the NATOs in that department. 17 rebounds for Oglethorpe, 19 for the NATOs, including 7 offensive rebounds as compared to Oglethorpe's 4. Assists, 6 for Oglethorpe, 10 for Brevard. NATOs have a block. Oglethorpe has 2. 4 steals for Oglethorpe and 8 for the NATOs, doubling them up in that category as well. But bench points, really the big difference here between these two teams, and a big reason why Oglethorpe is still hanging around like this. 19 bench points for the Stormy Petrels and 4 bench points for the Tornadoes. 4 second chance points for the NATOs, 3 for Oglethorpe, 20 points in the paint for Brevard, 14 in the paint for Oglethorpe, and fast break points, NATOs nearly doubling up Oglethorpe in that department as well, 13-7. About 11 and a half minutes away from second half action, and a few words here coming from the college, and we'll be back in just a few. Don't go anywhere. NATOs and Stormy Petrels coming back in just a moment.
It's important to study English because language
history,
Back here at the Bosch, just about ready for second half basketball between the NATOs and the Stormy Petrels. And for those of you wondering when I've been saying that throughout the broadcast, what a petrel is, it is a tube-nosed seabird, similar to that of a seagull, but not to be confused with. And that is the mascot, the moniker for Oglethorpe and their athletic teams. And it looks like they are running out the same starting five, and so are the NATOs. Chancey Watson, one of those five, tied for the leading scorer for the NATOs with 12, and he gives over to Carson Evans. LB has it left side, now Carson, right side Chancey. Back over to Carson up top. Carson working with his left, looking around, crossing back, getting a screen from Carnes, working inside, pass to LB, firing up a three, can't hit long, and the rebound there brought in by Jordan James. James gives it over to Dooley. Left side now, Jackson Kemp. Back to Dooley. Working on Evans. Going inside. Accelerates. Puts it up off the glass. No good. Quincy Carter with the rebound. Poked away by James. Going inside. And they're going to call a blocking foul against Carson Evans. His feet looked set. And it'll be a blocking foul instead of an offensive charge call. That's what I thought the call should have been. But instead it'll be 2 free throws for Jordan James here. James was 7 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from the stripe. So he's been to the free throw line once and trying to get the first points of the second half for Oglethorpe, and he does so, cutting the lead down to 4 now, 42-38. And James fires up his second and connects. He's 4 of 4 from the stripe now, and all of a sudden, to start the second half, it's a 3-point lead for the NATOs, who at points have led by double digits. LB rising up to get a pass there on the right side, guarded by Kemp. LB gets it back over to Evans. Evans left side, Chancey Watson. Chancey doubled. New defensive strategy here for Oglethorpe. Chancey gets it back, looking. Up top, Carson Evans wide open, sets his feet for 3 and hits it. Carson Evans, welcome to the scoring. He's got 3 assists. Now how about 3 points? Left side, Dooley. Over to Kemp. Kemp fakes the 3, now goes over to Ezigbo, and it'll be a travel called against him. Ezigbo called with the walk there, and he's confused. I'm not. And Chancey will inbound from right in front of the Brevard bleachers. Chancey with 12 points, 5 of 10 from the field. He passes over to Carson, who has the first make of the second half for the Tornadoes, a 3. Quincy finds Carson once more, scanning, looks over for LB, pass almost stolen. Quincy gets it back. LB working inside, looking around, going up with a layup off the glass. Strong finish by LB Boyette. He's got 14, nearing his season average per game of 20.6 with a few more baskets. Ezigbo gets it, worked on, picked up by Carter. Now Dooley wide open for 3, fires and connects. Carson Evans was late on the closeout. And it's a 5-point lead for the NATOs. Carson Evans with the basketball. Goes over to Quincy. Now Jaden Carnes. Carnes, one dribble. Pops a pass over to Carson left wing. Quincy Carter now. Left side, working inside the paint. Now going up and fouled. Foul by Jordan James there. And that will be his second whistle called against him. NATO's leading at 47-42. 2 minutes in to half number 2 here. And Quincy Carter with a chance to add on to his 10-point performance, already in double figures. And the first free throw here puts him at 15 of 17 on the year from the line. 2 of 3 tonight, and going to try and make this trip perfect. He's got 3 boards and 2 assists as well. Quincy hits it. 2 of 2 from the line there, and the NATOs lead back up to 7 just like that. Ezigbo on the left wing gives over to Dooley. Dooley working on Evans, passes over to Kemp. It's knocked out of his hands by Quincy Carter. He's got the best defensive hands on the team. Ezigbo firing up a 3 and canning it. Ezigbo has 8, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, only 3 of 8 from the field, but he cuts the lead back down to 4. LB has it right side, looking around, and now defers to Carnes. Takes one dribble, hands over to Quincy Carter. Carter gets a move, goes inside, putting up the layup off the glass. Quincy Carter says he's too small, and it's a 6-point lead for the NATOs. Kemp, left side, working on Carnes, going inside, cradles the ball, puts it up, can't get it. Rebound by James. He goes up. Foul called against LB Boyette, and James will draw 2 more free throws here. Already 4 of 4. And the NATO student section not big fans of that call there. James fires up the first and does hit the free throw. 51-46 NATO's. James trying to go perfect again and will do so. He is 6 of 6 from the line. Him and Benefield combined 11 for 11 from the line. And guess what? That is more free throws than the entire Tornado team has. Boyette, left side, gives it over to Carter. Knocked out of his hands. Right back to LB. Whips a pass over. Jaden Carnes. What a pass by LB Boyette. Jaden Carnes with a finish. Whipped over there masterfully by LB. And that pass not whipped well and knocked out of bounds. Nearly stolen by Carnes. And it will be going the NATO's way. A carry. Called against Kemp, or rather a backcourt, I believe, not a carry. And now whistle blown. And never mind, it was just clarification on the call there over to Coach Burgess. And now Carson Evans over to the right side. Chancey right back to Carson, going to fire up another 3. Going to hit another 3. Carson Evans, after a scoreless first half, has hit 2 threes to start the second half, and it's a 9-point lead for the Tornadoes. Evans D'ing up. Ezigbo gets the ball. Chancey Watson guarding him, trying to step back on him. Over to the right side. Renai going inside, putting it up. Or Janai, rather, puts it up, gets fouled, and the basket. It's an and-one opportunity, and the NATOs really can't seem to get out of their own way defensively. Really, that's unfair to the team. The referees' whistles seem to be a lot more eager on one side of the floor than the other. NATO's leading by 7, and Janai won't make it any less. Missing the free throw there on the and-one opportunity. He can't convert. Quincy Carter gets it now over to Carson Evans. Sets up the play, going behind the back and setting up time before he passes over to LB Boyette. He gets it right back. Now to the left side, Chancey Watson whips a pass over to Carnes. Can't handle it, but does get it back over to Chancey. Quincy has it. Thinks about the mid-range jumper. Out to the corner, Chancey, pump fake. Left wide open for a long 2, and airballs that one. Chancey not able to convert. Ezigbo passing over to Dooley from the corner in front of his own bench. Can't hit, short. Carter whipping a pass over to LB. LB, another nice pass. Carnes, he goes up, and it is knocked off of Janai. A timeout coming here. NATOs will still have the possession, leading by 7, about 4.5 into this second half. 56-49, NATOs leading it, and we'll be right back here live from the Bosch. Back now here with the NATOs leading 56-49, and inbound coming for Carson Evans. NATOs have the possession. LB coming around a screen, getting the basketball now in the left corner, goes up top to Chancey. Chancey over to Quincy, right wing. Looking around now, goes up top to Carnes. Carnes, couple of dribbles, working back to Quincy. He has the basketball now. Jab steps, stepping back now. He's up top, 10 on the 24. Handing over to Evans. Evans trying to make a move, does make a move. Fires a free throw line jumper and connects. Carson Evans, a perfect 3 of 3 in the second half. With all 8 of his points coming here after halftime. He's got 3 assists as well. And some new Oglethorpe players in, including Awalier, who gets a jam there over Carnes and tries to hit a little bit of a stare down. Doesn't have quite the effect you want it to when you're losing, though. And Carter passing over to Boyette. Watson over to Boyette up top, working on Awalier, putting it up high off the glass. LB Boyette. He's got 16. Too small, he says. Awalier, you want to try and celebrate on us? We'll do it right back. Up top, Benefield. Dylan Benefield, the leading scorer for Oglethorpe. Over to Trey Harris, now right side. O'Donohue to the corner, Benefield firing up a 3 over Evans, can't hit. Rebound hauled in, Jaden Carnes, now pass over to LB Boyette. And that's Reisman, not O'Donohue. LB Boyette over to Carter, right side. Carson Evans going inside, stepping back, long mid-range, can't hit it. Rebound, Awalier. Benefield losing the basketball, and it's going to be a travel against him. Great defense there by Chancey Watson to force it. He kind of tried to regather the basketball as Chancey was maybe about to knock it loose and ended up walking there. Could have also been a carry. And Watson to inbound to Carson Evans. Benefield getting some heckling and smiling at it. Evans working over to the right wing, loses the basketball momentarily, gets it right back, has some space, lobs one up. Carnes gets it over to the corner. Watson weaving inside. What a move! Chancey Watson! Watson, what a move! He's got 14. Crowd on their feet. Chancey Watson. In the corner, Trey Harris. Up top, Benefield. Back to the corner, Harris. Trying to go down low. Losing the basketball. And that's going to be a push called against Quincy Carter. I don't know about that one. Boos raining down. It's a double-digit lead once more for the NATOs at 11. That's Quincy's third foul. Got to be careful. Quincy has 14, but the 3 fouls now. 4 boards, 2 assists as well. From the baseline, Benefield looking for someone to pass to. He finds Reisman, and he finds Trey Harris and hits the mid-range immediately. Reisman running into Chancey Watson there. Chancey not really taking any exception to it, though. 9-point lead for the NATOs. Up top, Carson Evans. 13-13 to go. Left side, LB. Back to Carson. Right side, Watson. Up top, Evans. Nice move, going inside, getting space. Floater is good. Carson Evans is on fire right now. A timeout is called, and the NATOs lead it by 11 now, 64-53, just under 13 minutes to go. A nice basket there, Carson Evans. Evans has 10 points, and they've all come here in the second half. Carson Evans going nuclear with 10 points and 3 assists so far. All 10 points once again in the second half, and we will be right back here from the Bosch with the NATOs leading at 64-53. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Graduate of the Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is equipped with the core skills to be successful in any field. So what can students do after they graduate? Anything they want.
I think that Brevard College's Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is better than other programs because of the quality of the teachers.
Back here, coming onto the court are the NATOs. Same 5, and why not? It's been working. LB Boyette, 16. Quincy Carter, 14. A combined 44 points between the trio of Boyette, Carter, and Watson tonight. And a really good starting 5 for Coach Lee Burgess. Carson Evans with 10 as well. So 60 of the 64 points have come from the starting five for the NATOs. Boyette ding up. Trey Harris down low. Awalier trying to work on Carnes. Going up. Can't get the basket. Good D. Gets his own rebound. Puts it up. Can't get it. Gets his own rebound again and tries to flex on Carnes. It took him 3 attempts to score. Not to mention, he's down 9 points with 12 and a half minutes to go. Carson Evans has the basketball. Right side, Boyette. Up top, Evans having a great second half, getting guarded. Now passing over to Boyette. Boyette looking. Quincy looking back. Carson. LB firing up a three and can't connect. That one rebounded by Benefield. Oglethorpe has numbers 3-on-2. Chansey coming in. Pass is hauled in by Reisman. Puts it up off the glass. Can't get it. Awalier rebound off the glass. Can't get it. Quincy Carter now with the basketball. Not as much celebrating that time from Oglethorpe, and Carson Evans with the basketball up top. Right side, Chansey Watson. Chansey, Carson thinks about it, passing over to Quincy. Good team basketball, and that pass is sent right to the Tornado bench. It'll be a turnover. That one was to the sixth man there. And another timeout on the floor, and we will be right back. 11:53 to go here in the second half. NATO's leading it by 9. Back here at the Bosch, 64-55 NATO lead. It is Oglethorpe basketball as Dylan Benefield, the leading scorer for the Stormy Petrels, has the basketball, getting a screen from Awalier, passing it back over to Reisman. Kemp has it now. Mason Kemp. That one, Awalier goes up to get, climbing the ladder, but this pass by him is stolen by KK Horton. Going inside. Layup off the glass is good. Lead back up to double digits, and Benefield with the basketball up the right side. Horton guarding up. Reisman getting the basketball, going over to Trey Harris. Horton picks him up. Now picks Kemp up with the basketball up top. Kemp going inside, putting it up off the glass. No good, but a foul. See who that one's against. Looks like it'll be against Horton. It will be, and that's his first. Team's fifth. 66-55 lead here, and number 22, Mason Kemp at the line, knocks down the first. Ryan Smith coming in place of Carnes. Kemp trying to stay perfect at the line here, and he does so. 2 of 2 trip there for Mason Kemp, and Charles Reed also checked into the ball game for the NATOs. He'll be the inbounder. Gives it over to Horton. NATO's leading by 9, 11-14 and counting to go. Right side, LB losing the basketball. Kemp has it, sliding on the ground, passing back. Janai losing it. Bad pass. Horton can't handle it. Long three-pointer from the corner is no good by Zigbo. That pass whipped in there somehow to Boyette. Nice pass. Quincy Carter finishes off the relay. Oglethorpe with the basketball. Benefield going inside. Backdoor pass. Nice pass, but he's rejected. Ryan Smith. Jordan James and Quincy Carter has it and is fouled on the way down the floor. What a rejection there by Ryan Smith of James. A monster in the paint, number 23. With the defense there, NATO's back up to an 11-point lead as Boyette and Carter will step out and get some rest before the home stretch of this game. Reed inbounds to KK. Left side, Garrett Sutherland, newly checked in, as well as Paris Crawford, who gets the basketball on the right side. Up top, KK. Right back to Paris. Paris double teamed immediately. They fall back. Now Horton. Sutherland looking around. Up top, KK. Kind of just playing hot potato right now. Charles Reed gets it over to Smith. Smith whips it over to the corner. Up top, Horton all alone for three and can't connect. Rebound pulled in by Crawford and a foul against Ezigbo. It looks like a push. And it is Ezigbo called for the foul. That's his second. Second foul for him. Third of the half for Oglethorpe as Charles Reed inbounds over to Paris. Paris was left all alone. Instead decides to weave inside, puts up a floater through contact, and it is, looks like it got blocked. Goes up in the air, rebound goes to Oglethorpe. Ezigbo now working on Crawford, passing it over to Jordan James. James going inside, puts up the layup, no good. Rebound, Ezigbo tips it up in the air, gets it back to himself. Passing over to Dooley, wide open, Janai for three up top, hits it. 8-point lead for the Tornadoes now with under 10 to go. NATO's in the white and blue, Oglethorpe sporting the black and yellow. Crawford pressured right in front of the NATO bench, passes it over to Charles Reed. Reed, nice pass, Sutherland fires up a three and hits it! Garrett Sutherland with his second shot attempt of the game, but they've both been triples and they've both gone through. 6 points for him, and LB Boyette at the end of the bench getting hype. Malachi Dooley up top with the basketball. Over to Janai, working on Charles Reed, trying to set something up. Gives it over to James. Now Kemp going to fire up a three and can't connect. No answer there for Oglethorpe. Horton coming up the left side, over to Sutherland. They lost track of him. Goes inside, pass, Reed cutting in, and the layup no good. Rebound knocked back out to Paris Crawford. Crawford on the right side now resets the shot clock. 16 of the 24. Horton, Reed, Crawford all alone for three in front of the NATO bench. He connects! A 14-point lead has been opened up for the NATOs with 8:48 to go. With the basketball, Dooley. Janai now working on Sutherland, going inside, backdoor pass. James is able to get it off the glass. Crawford couldn't close in soon enough. 8.5 to go. NATO's leading by 12, 74-62 in what definitively has been their best performance of the season to this point. Paris Crawford over to Sutherland. Second unit playing really well right now. Sutherland going to fire up another three. Can't hit that one, but the rebound is going to be hauled in off the hands of Smith by Sutherland. Goes inside, pass to the corner. Left wing Charles Reed going inside, putting up the floater. It's good. Great team basketball, great ball movement there by the Tornadoes. And the NATOs leading it by 14 with 8 minutes to go. Dooley with the basketball on the right side, trying to bring Kemp over. Jackson Kemp passing over to Ezigbo now. Hasn't done much. Going inside, getting physical, putting it up. Blocked from behind by Ryan Smith, but a foul called against the Tornadoes. And that foul will be against Paris Crawford. It's the team's sixth and Paris's second. And a timeout on the floor with 7:50 remaining. NATO's leading at 76-62. Things heating up here down the stretch. NATO's playing really well, and we'll be right back. Back on the floor now. Same five for the NATOs, same five for Oglethorpe. It'll be 2 free throws coming for Ezigbo after the foul by Paris Crawford. Right after Crawford made contact there, Ryan Smith had a monster block from behind, almost another one. But the foul negates it, and Ezigbo hits the first. He's got 9. His first free throw. And this one is connected on as well. Charles Reed now to inbound. NATO's leading by 12, 7:49 to go. Sutherland floats it over the defender. Reed trying to weave between two defenders and does. Gets it over to Crawford. NATO's a little bit of clock management, it looks like. Right side, Horton. Up top, Crawford. 7:28 to go. 6 on the 24. Smith has it up top. 4. Horton going to fire up a 3 and can't hit that one either. And rebound hauled in by Malachi Dooley. Dooley racing down the floor, gives it up to Kemp. Kemp looking, trying to find a cutter, and does. It's Jordan James once again left alone under the basket. And whoever's on James has got to do a little better job of paying attention to where he's at. Sutherland has the basketball, passes it across the court to Horton, and they're past midcourt and ready to set up now. Horton guarded by Jackson Kemp. Now gives over to Garrett, who's working on Kemp. Hands it, Horton weaving away from Kemp. Now Crawford hauls in a pass with one hand. 7 on the 24. Crawford going to go inside, and no foul, a lot of contact. Crawford able to put it up and get the basket. He knocked his defender to the floor, contact on both ends, no whistles, and the basket is good for the NATOs, up 12 now with 6:27 to go. Things looking good at the moment. Janai fakes the 3, goes inside. Nice layup there. Nice layup by Janai, who now has 7. Sutherland passes over to Horton. He's able to race down and go get it. Now pass. Garrett in the corner. Paris all alone in front of the bench, and he can't connect. Rebound goes right to Garrett, and he's fouled as he puts it up. 4th team foul for Oglethorpe. NATO sporting a double-digit lead with 6:04 to go in this one. And Crawford will come out. Quincy Carter, the first of the big 3 per se, to come back into the ball game. And it looks like he will be the one who gets the inbound pass here. On the right side now, defers immediately up top to Horton, who gives it right back to Quincy. Quincy has it ripped away from him by Kemp, but gets it back. Going inside of the left now, putting up a floater. Quincy Carter with another basket. He's got 18. Quincy Carter with 18, a team-leading scorer now at this juncture in the game. Jackson Kemp, right wing, spinning, going inside. Hop step, no travel call. They missed that one. Ezigbo now gets it for 3 and connects. Ezigbo with his 3rd three-pointer. He's got 13. Quincy Carter with the basketball. Over to Sutherland. Looking around. Now to Quincy. Reed. To KK. Left side. Sutherland. Cross court. Quincy Carter to Smith. Up top, Horton thinks about it. Now Sutherland, 8 on the 24, going inside, putting up a floater. Garrett with another basket there. He's got 8. 3 of 4 from the field. Very efficient for number 15, the sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia. And another block. Ryan Smith on the other end of the floor. Rebound brought in Charles Reed, and a foul call. It looks like this one will be against Oglethorpe. It is. It's against Dooley. It's his first. And now L.B. Boyette and Jaden Carnes are going to take Garrett Sutherland and Ryan Smith off of the floor and presumably finish out the rest of this one. NATO's leading by 11. Reed. Inbound over to Horton. Calling out the play now to his right. Gives it to L.B. LB back up top to KK. Left side now Quincy. Whips it over to Reed. Reed looking around. Finds Horton. Back to Quincy. Gonna fire up a 3. Quincy Carter connects. He's got 21. That one knocked away from Ezigbo. Ezigbo looking around. Finding Janai. Picked up by LB Boyette. Quincy had 30-plus last game, following it up with a 21-point effort here. Ezigbo trying to spin around on Boyette off the glass. Nice move. A timeout coming here for Oglethorpe. They trail by 12 with 4:17 to go. NATO's trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Quincy Carter having another outstanding ball game. 8 of 11 from the field, 21 points. LB Boyette with 16, Chancey Watson with 14. Carson Evans is in double figures as well. And the NATO's leading it by 12 as we hit the home stretch. And we will be right back here live from the Bosch. Back on the floor for the final 4 minutes and change here. Speaking of change, no changes for the Tornadoes. Trey Harris, in the ball game for Oglethorpe. To Reed, now to Horton. Quincy Carter has it past half court. LB going inside, stops on a dime. Free throw line jumper, no good. Carnes knocks the rebound back to LB, who puts up a floater. It's good. LB has 18 on 8 of 12 shooting. Really efficient between him and Quincy Carter. 16 of 23 from the field. Kemp with the basketball. Mason Kemp gives over to Benefield, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound hold in. Quincy Carter, his 6th. Long pass by Charles Reed over to Horton. Horton working on Janai, puts it up off the glass, almost had a really nice reverse there, can't hit. Kemp with the basketball coming up the left side, under 4 to play. Up top, Janai, right side, Trey Harris firing up a 3, can't hit, long. Rebound, KK Horton. He is going to be fouled by Kemp, I believe. It'll be a foul on the floor, 6th foul against the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels. And now Carson Evans going to come back in for probably the remainder of this one. KK Horton will take a seat. Not KK's best night, 1 of 9 shooting, but 7 rebounds. Solid offensive contribution with a couple assists as well. Charles Reed gets it over to Quincy. Quincy back to Charles, got to get it up the floor, and does. Carson Evans left alone and will slow things down. NATO's holding a 14-point lead with 3:15 to go. Carson, left side, Quincy Carter, over to Carnes. Carnes, a couple dribbles, now hands to Quincy. Quincy has a lane. Putting up the layup, no good. Rebound Carnes, and it's a foul. Quincy will go to the line for 2. Quincy's 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. 16 of 18 from the field on the campaign. Carter. First free throw is money. Quincy's got 22. Season high made field goals and made 3-pointers for the NATOs tonight. As Quincy hits the second, he's got 23. Field goals, the NATOs have knocked down 36, and they've knocked down 11 3-pointers. 33 of their 89 points, over a third of their points coming from beyond the arc. Carson Evans D'ing up on Benefield, less than 3 minutes to go. Benefield going inside, passing it over to Kemp, firing a 3 in transition, can't hit. Rebound knocked right to Charles Reed. Charles has got 3 boards. And 2:40 to go. NATO's up 16. Quincy Carter with the basketball. Left side, Boyette. Carson Evans, back to Boyette. Now Charles, up top Carnes, a dribble, a pass to Carter, wide open for 3, and why not? Off the glass, no good. Quincy Carter almost reached 26 there. He'll have to settle for 23 for the moment. Benefield trying to go in on him. Great D by Quincy Carter, and somehow a foul called. Quincy Carter literally had his hands on the basketball. And that'll be Quincy's 4th foul. Should not matter at this point in the game with only 2:18 remaining. But Benefield will get 2 more free throws. He has shot 5 so far. Firing it up. And no good there. Benefield finally misses one. He's 5 of 6. NATOs have shot 8 free throws. And Benefield himself after this one will have shot 7. And between him and James, it'll be 13 combined free throws just for those 2. So just 2 players on Oglethorpe have more free throw attempts than the NATOs do. LB Boyette, nice pass over to Carnes. Another assist for LB, his 5th. Pass over, Benefield working on Boyette. He's fouled again. And that should be on the floor. And are they going to say the basket counts? They are going to say the basket counts. Wow. All right then. Benefield hits the free throw. So an and 1 converted there by Benefield somehow. And Evans with the basketball on the inbound. NATO's leading by 14, 2:03 to go. This one should be pretty much a wrap. NATO's just got to execute here down the 2 minutes. Quincy Carter to Boyette. Reed. Quincy has it once more. Really good game once again for Quincy. That's twice in a row. Pass over to Evans. He'll keep the pace down slow. 9 on the shot clock. Evans has it now. A couple of dribbles. Stepping back. Passing. Carnes wide open. He's blocked. That one will go out of bounds with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Carnes has been blocked a few times tonight, the 6'4 freshman big man. He's been caught by surprise a couple of times. Charles Reed looking for an inbound. It's Carnes who fumbles it and can't haul it in. Benefield now coming out the floor. One-on-one with Carter. Puts up a layup, trying to search for another foul. Doesn't get it this time. Boyette, Reed, Evans wide open. He'll circle back and slow it down. Evans weaving around defenders and now gives it up to Quincy. Quincy working to his left. Nice pass, Carson Evans. Good feed there. Quincy Carter, he's got assist number 3, and Carson Evans has points number 11 and 12, all coming here in the second half. 1:06 to go in this one. NATO's leading it by 16, closing in on their second victory of the season, their first at home. Ezigbo has it. Pass over to Dooley. Long 3 is hit. And it is 93-80, and a timeout coming here with 54.9 to go. And no timeout. Whistles were blowing. A couple people on the bench were standing up for the NATOs and for Oglethorpe, but no timeout. And Reed will inbound this to Evans. Evans passes over to Carter, who's all by himself. LB, all by himself. Circling back now. And with 50 seconds to go, they might just concede down 13. Boyette going to work, stepping back. 16 on the shot clock, still plenty of time to wind down. Carnes has it, going inside, passing it over to Carter. Carter crossing back, firing up a 3, and Quincy Carter! 26 points! Quincy Carter is on fire these last few games. A spin move, Benefield puts it up and connects on that one. He's got 17. Charles Reed inbounds to Evans. Evans getting away from the 2 defenders. Now back over to Quincy. Who else? Quincy getting a round of applause. The entire Brevard squad executing, firing on all cylinders tonight, but none other than Quincy Carter, none greater than Quincy Carter tonight. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 9 of 13 from the field, and the buzzer will sound on this one. NATO's win at 96-82 in a blowout win of Oglethorpe. NATO's now lead the all-time series 2-1, and they have their first home win here at the Bosch of the campaign. When we get back in just a moment, look at stats, recap, and we will have a post-game interview with none other than number 4 himself, Quincy Carter. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here. 96-82, the final here from the Bosch. That doesn't get plugged in. I have that one. Oh, okay. Back here from the Bosch, 96-82 final score here. NATO's with victory number 2 on the season and victory number 1 here at home in the Bosch. And a look at some of the team statistics first. Field goal percentage, 53.4% for the NATOs, rose dramatically in the second half after a really good first half offensively. Able to finish above a 50% clip at 39 of 73. For Oglethorpe, they finished 28 of 60 from the field, 46.7% clip, which is not a bad rate, but obviously the NATOs were just on. For Oglethorpe, 12 of 33 for the NATOs, so a season high in field goal makes and three-point makes. Free throw discrepancy was quite large, to be honest, and this game could have been a lot uglier if not for that. 6 of 8 for Brevard and 18 of 22 for Oglethorpe, 81.8% for the line. 15 turnovers for Oglethorpe, 10 for Brevard. 9 points off turnovers for Oglethorpe, 23 for the NATOs. And NATOs out-rebounding the Stormy Petrels 38-30 as well. 13 offensive boards for the NATOs, 25 defensive boards, 21 assists to Oglethorpe's 15. 3 blocks apiece for each team, 9 steals for the NATOs, 7 for Oglethorpe. 16 fouls against the NATOs, 13 against Oglethorpe. 18 bench points for the NATOs, 33 for Oglethorpe. And second chance points, 13-10 in favor of Brevard. Points in the paint, 48-34 discrepancy in favor of the NATOs. And fast break points, 18 for Brevard and 4 for Oglethorpe. Individually for Oglethorpe, Dylan Benefield had 17 points. He was the leading scorer, 5 of 11 from the field, 7 of 8 from the stripe. 15 for Uba Ezigbo, right at his season average of 14.7. He dropped 15 with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. 15 points as well for Jordan James, who was 4 of 7 from the field, 6 of 6 from the stripe with 4 rebounds. Malachi Dooley had 8. Ryan Janai had 7. Trey Harris and Mason Kemp had 5 apiece. Jackson Kemp had 4, the brothers combining for 9. And then Jonathan Awalier with 4. Tyler O'Donohue with 2. Robert Reisman and Griffin Cherry both checked in without scoring. For the NATOs, obviously the big story who we'll have on here in just a moment, Quincy Carter, 26 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 5 of 6 from the stripe, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and absolutely astounding performance from Quincy Carter, who has 58 points in his last 2 games, nearly 30 points a game average against Warren Wilson and now Oglethorpe. L.B. Boyette with 18, 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Really good game for him as well. Chancey Watson had 14 and really was kind of the spark plug to get things going. Created a lot of early offense, and then as the game progressed, L.B. and Quincy kind of took over as they normally do for the Tornadoes. 6 boards for Chancey as well and 2 assists. 6 of 12 from the field, 50% clip. Carson Evans had 12 points. All of those came in the second half. 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Hit 2 early threes in half number 2. 3 assists for him as well and only 1 foul. 8 points apiece for Jaden Carnes and Garrett Sutherland. 6 for Paris Crawford. He knocked down a 3-pointer, a couple of baskets. Charles Reed had 2 with 2 rebounds and 2 assists as well. Only had 2 field goal attempts. KK Horton with 2 points, 7 rebounds, really contributing on the glass. And then Ryan Smith and Sly White both checked in without scoring. Ryan Smith did have a massive block, a couple of massive blocks there. 2 really big blocks in the second half. All in all, it results in a 96-82 victory for the Brevard College Tornadoes. And here in just a moment, we will have Quincy Carter for a post-game interview after his 26-point performance. I'm Brady Penn. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for post-game interview and final thoughts with Quincy Carter. We'll be right back. And back here live from the Boshamer Gymnasium, I am sitting here with Quincy Carter, the player of the game once again. Quincy, not the first time I've had you here after a really good performance, and tonight, no different. You guys getting your first home win of the season, 96-82 over the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels, and you had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, a 60% clip, 9 of 13 from the field, and actually you, LB, and Chancey combined for 58 points between the three of you. LB had 18, Chancey had 14, and we can talk before we get to you. Chancey, at the beginning of that ball game kind of, got the spark for the offense, hit a couple threes, and then as the game progressed, you and LB kind of took over as you guys do so often. And can you explain kind of the chemistry between the whole unit, but especially between the three of you guys, 3 veterans that have really cemented yourselves in this lineup? How important is it for you 3 to kind of take charge and get things going on both ends?
We kind of just feed off each other. We know when we share the ball, we're going to get great looks. So just feeding off each other energy, just, getting up shots before the game. Just that connection we have together as a trio is amazing. Absolutely,
and like I said, you're right, 58 combined points between the three of you, nearly a 20-piece for all 3 of you guys. Mm-hmm. And you last game, for those of you that don't know, at Warren Wilson, Quincy had a career-high 33 points, and I'm sure Coach Burgess and the rest of the team were anxious to see how you would follow that up, and you only followed it up with just as good of a performance, 26 points, and now over your last 2 games, averaging 29.5 points per game and averaging 21.7 a game on the season now. And as a matter of fact, you and LB are combining to average 41 points per game just between the 2 of you guys. So once again, you two kind of the real leaders on both ends of the floor. But enough of the talk about offense. You also had an extreme contribution on defense as well. Really active hands. You're averaging over a steal a game, and some guys are content with just taking that offensive scoring load and kind of taking off on defense, and players like you pride themselves on their defense. And kind of explain that, talk to us through that, how your defense is just as important as your offense.
I take pride in defense. I don't like nobody scoring on me, honestly. I take it personal. Every time I match up with somebody, I make sure they don't score me. So we just take it personal on defense, and that's what Coach been preaching to us this whole year. And he wanted us to be more aggressive on defense, just taking it personal, take our matchup personally, is to go out there and just compete. That's it.
Taking it personal. That's what you said to me a couple weeks ago on the Tornado Talk that we had you, David, and LB on at the Winter Social. You said taking it personal on defense, and it seems like with the way that guys like you, guys like Charles Reed play on defense, it seems like the whole team kind of adapts to that mantra, and you guys become a really tough unit, especially on the outside. I mean, we had double digits in steals tonight. I believe it was 16 or 17 steals as a team, and just forcing a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of errors, just kind of making the offense think a little bit more than normal is just such an invaluable tool and skill set for you guys. So kudos to you and the team on your defense. You guys obviously got off to not the start that you wanted to get off to, but these last few games, I mean, we knew we were close after those first few games, kind of some close losses, some tough ones here. And all of a sudden, 2 wins in a row, kind of getting things cooking, and you've been a big part of it. How important is it, and how have y'all been able to keep your poise and stay composed after a less than ideal start?
We know we're a good team. We just know we just had a couple of bumps early on, but we didn't expect to start off undefeated. We just went out there and competed every day, and we didn't win some. So we just went back to the drawing board and just kept working, and now we see the product of our work. We out there, we seeing wins now. So we just gotta keep it going and keep going after it every day in practice.
And the important thing is you guys are getting hot as we sort of head into Christmas break, which sort of signifies the start of conference play. You guys are going to start seeing these USA South opponents, and you guys are being battle-tested with games like tonight, like games against Warren Wilson. You guys are being prepared for the moment, and let's see, you had 33 last game, 26 tonight. What are we getting next game, 40 out of you? We getting a 40-piece?
Man, I don't know, man.
Well, one thing's for sure is Quincy Carter is playing amazing basketball. The NATOs are playing really well. And, got to shout out the home state of Georgia. Quincy's a Georgia product, as am I, and we all know how Georgia gets down. So Quincy displaying that with 29.5 points per game over his last 2. Both victories by the NATOs, 96-82 tonight. Quincy Carter, our player of the game. Quincy, congrats, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that was Quincy Carter in a post-game interview once again. 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 boards for Quincy Carter. Him and LB Boyette, really the two forces on this team. Chancey Watson playing really well. And this team kind of coming into its own over these last couple of games. A really good 96-82 win, the first victory at the Boshamer Gymnasium for the Tornadoes on the season. Many more to come, hopefully, behind the scoring and overall efforts of LB Boyette, Quincy Carter, Chancey Watson, and everybody else on the team.